pull it out. Pull it out, your phone, turn it on vibrate, or shut it off. If you don't know how to shut the phone off, please do that now. Okay? I know that might sound a little harsh, but this is a special evening. We want this time to be very reflective. And we're going to spend some time together worshiping through song and scripture. We're going to take a journey to the cross through reading of scripture, not just a regular sermon, but through listening to the words of God as we talk about the cross of Jesus. And so I think this is a wonderful night. Good Friday is one of my favorite services that we have all year. And that might sound weird because it's really a down, kind of a mourning and a grief. But I think we as Christians sometimes could probably improve on our ability to wade into grief and stepping into lamentation. It's an appropriate emotion. It's an appropriate place to be from time to time. In fact, Rosie and I were watching a movie called Inside Out just yesterday. I don't know if you've seen that, but the idea behind the movie is that this person, inside their brain, there are emotions that drive the vehicle, so to speak. And so those emotions are joy, sadness, fear, anger, and disgust. And they get their turns at different times in this person's life of taking control. Joy seems to be the chief in charge of the whole program. And when things start going bad, it's when sadness starts turning joyful memories into sadness. All that to say, at the end of the movie, there's the revelation that sadness is a very valuable emotion. And it does have deep connection to really joyful memories as well. And so there are times that we need to step into the mourning and the grief and the lamentation so that we can get a clearer picture of the joy and the goodness of what we're going to celebrate on Sunday. So tonight, go ahead and be a little in your feelings and be a little sad and shed a tear in grief what this means, because what this means is Jesus Christ became all forms of evil. Every aspect of our sin, he became that, and he suffered punishment in our place in order that we could be forgiven of all of our sin. It's really an incredible thing, and we can mourn that an innocent man had to take our place. We can mourn that because on Sunday we're going to celebrate the fact that that wasn't the final chapter in the story. He conquered all of that. He conquered the grief, he conquered the sin, he conquered death through his resurrection. So tonight as we progress through this, we'll have this scripture reading and songs, and the candles will start to go out and the lights will start to fade a little bit. And by the time we get to the end, we'll have kind of our classic, thunder and a hanging scripture, and we want to give you the time to just kind of be quietly reflective. You can sit and stay as long as you want, but after that final moment, when you do leave, if you could please just leave in silence. That's kind of the thing we want to leave hanging here tonight. Again, we'll get to fellowship on Sunday morning. But tonight, let's just reflect, let's be mindful of what Christ has done, and then go home with that just kind of hanging on our hearts so we can be prepared to celebrate the resurrection on Sunday. Let me go ahead and say a word of prayer, and we'll start our service. Father, we thank you so much for tonight and what it means for us as believers in Jesus Christ, that you stood in the place we belonged. You took on all of our sin and brokenness and sickness and evil. You weren't any of those things, and yet you became those for our sake because you loved us. And Father, it breaks my heart to know the depth of suffering you endured in that moment for our sakes. And I can spend a few moments reflecting on that, because I know there's a light at the end of the tunnel. It is Friday, but Sunday is coming. And we want to reflect on the sacrifice part so we can celebrate the victory part. So help us to be mindful of that and move our hearts by the working of your Holy Spirit and your grace. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
In John 13, 21b through 30. Truly, truly, I say to you, one of you will betray me. The disciples looked at one another, uncertain of whom he spoke. One of the disciples whom he spoke, Jesus loved, was reclining at a table at Jesus' side. So Simon Peter motioned to him and ask Jesus whom he is speaking. So that disciple leaned back against Jesus and said to him, Lord, who is it? Jesus answered, It is he whom I will give this morsel of bread when I have dipped it. So then he had dipped the morsel and gave it to Judas, the son of Simon Iscariot. Then, after he had taken the morsel, Satan entered into him. Jesus said to him, What you are going to do, do quickly. Now, no one at the table knew why Jesus had told him this. Some thought that because Judas had the money bag, Jesus was telling him, buy what was needed for the feast, or that he should go and give something to the poor. So after receiving the morsel of bread, he immediately went out, and it was night.
Reading from Matthew 26, 36 through 44. Then Jesus went with them to a place called Gethsemane, and he said to his disciples, Sit here, while I go over there and pray. And taking with him Peter and the two sons of Zebedee, he began to be sorrowful and troubled. Then he said to them, My soul is very sorrowful, even to death. Remain here and watch with me. And going a little farther, he fell on his face and prayed, saying, Father, if it possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as you will. And he came to the disciples and found them sleeping. And he said to Peter, So, could you not watch with me 1 hour? Watch and pray that you may not enter into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. Again, for the second time, he went away and prayed, My Father, if this cannot pass unless I drink it, your will be done. And again, he came and found them sleeping, for their eyes were heavy. So leaving them again, he went away and prayed for the third time, saying the same words again.
risen. Now you're risen. Everything I once held dear, I count it all as lost. Lead me to the cross where your love poured out. Bring me to my knees, Lord, I lay me down. Rid me of myself, I belong to you. Oh, lead me to the cross, to your heart, to your heart. Lead me to your heart. Lead me to your heart. Lead me to the cross where your love poured out. Bring me to my knees, Lord, I lay me down. Rid me of myself, I belong to you. Oh, lead me to the cross where your love poured out. Bring me to my knees, Lord, I lay me down. Rid me of myself, I belong to you. Oh, lead me to the cross.
Matthew 26:47 says, While he was speaking, Judas came, one of the 12, and with him a great crowd with swords and clubs from the chief priests and the elders of the people. Now the betrayer had given them a sign, saying, The one I will kiss is the man, seize him. And he came up to Jesus at once and said, Greetings, Rabbi. And he kissed him. Jesus said to him, Friend, do what you came to do. They came up and laid hands on Jesus and seized him. And behold, one of those who were with Jesus stretched out his hand and drew a sword and struck the servant of the high priest and cut off his ear.
Then Jesus said to him, Put your sword back into place, for all who take the sword will perish by the sword. Do you think that I cannot appeal to my Father, and he will at once send me more than 12 legions of angels? But how then should the scriptures be fulfilled, that it must be so? At that hour Jesus said to the crowds, Have you come out as against a robber, with swords and clubs to capture me? Day after day I sat in the temple teaching, and you did not seize me. But all this has taken place, and the scriptures of the prophets might be fulfilled. Then all the disciples left him and fled.
say, thy strength indeed is small, child of weakness, died my soul to save. My lips shall still repeat, Jesus paid it all to him I owe. Sin had left a crimson stain, he washed it white as snow. Jesus paid it all to him I owe. Sin had left a crimson stain, he washed it white as snow.
Matthew 27:11 through 19. Now Jesus stood before the governor, and the governor asked him, "Are you the king of Jews?" Jesus said, "You have said so." But when he was accused by the chief priests and elders, he gave no answer. Then Pilate said to him, "Do you not hear how many things they testify against you?" But he gave no answer, not even a single charge, so that the governor was greatly amazed. Now, at the feast, the governor was accustomed to release for the crowd any one prisoner whom they wanted, and they had then a notorious prisoner called Barabbas. So when they had gathered, Pilate said to them, "Whom do you want me to release to you, Barabbas or Jesus, who is called Christ?" For he knew that it was out of envy that they had delivered him up. Besides, while he was sitting on the judgment seat, his wife sent word to him, "Have nothing to do with that religious man, for I have suffered much because of him today in a dream."
The governor again said to them, "Which of the two do you want me to release for you?" And they said, "Barabbas." Pilate said to them, "Then what shall I do with Jesus, who is called Christ?" They all said, "Let him be crucified." And he said, "Why? What evil has he done?" But they shouted all the more, "Let him be crucified." So when Pilate saw that he was gaining nothing, but rather that a riot was beginning, he took water and washed his hands before the crowd, saying, "I am innocent of this man's blood. See to it yourselves." And all the people answered, "His blood be on us and on our children." Then he released for them Barabbas, and having scourged Jesus, delivered him to be crucified.
Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they crucified my Lord?
I'll be reading from Matthew 27:32 through 38. And it says, as they went out, they found a man of Cyrene, Simon by name. They compelled this man to carry his cross. And when they came to a place called Golgotha, which means place of the skull, they offered him wine to drink mixed with gall. He refused to drink it. And when they had crucified him, they divided his garments among them by casting lots. Then they sat down and kept watch over him there. And over his head they put the charge against him, which read, "This is Jesus, King of the Jews." Then 2 robbers were crucified with him, one on the right and one on the left.
Luke 23:39 through 43. One of the criminals who were hanged railed at him, saying, "Are you not the Christ? Save us and yourself." But the other rebuked him, saying, Do you not fear God, since you are under the same sentence of condemnation? And we indeed justly, for we are receiving the reward of our deeds. But this man has done nothing wrong. And he said, Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. And he said to him, Truly, I say to you, today you will be with me in paradise.
Matthew 27:39 through 43. And those who passed by derided him, wagging their heads and saying, "You who would destroy the temple and rebuild it in 3 days, save yourself. If you are the Son of God, come down from the cross." So also the chief priests with the scribes and elders mocked him, saying, "He saved others, he cannot save himself. He is the King of Israel. Let him come down now from the cross, and we will believe in him. He trusts in God. Let God deliver him now, if he desires him. For he said, I am the Son of God." Verse 45 through 49. Now from the 6th hour there was darkness over all the land until the 9th hour. And about the 9th hour Jesus cried out in a loud voice, saying, "Eli, Eli, lema sabachthani?" That is, my God, why have you forsaken me?" And some of the bystanders, hearing it, said, "This man is calling Elijah." And one of them at once ran and took a sponge, filled it with sour wine, put it on a reed, and gave it to him to drink. The other said, "Wait, let's see whether Elijah will come down to save him." In John 19:30, when Jesus had received the sour wine, he said, "It is finished." And he bowed his head and gave up his spirit.
John 19:38 through 42. After these things, Joseph of Arimathea, who was a disciple of Jesus, but secretly for fear of the Jews, asked Pilate that he might take away the body of Jesus. And Pilate gave him permission. So he came and took away his body. Nicodemus also, who earlier had come to Jesus by night, came bringing a mixture of myrrh and aloes, about 75 pounds in weight. So they took the body of Jesus and bound it in linen cloths with the spices, as is the burial custom of the Jews. Now in the place where he was crucified, there was a garden, and in the garden a new tomb, in which no one had yet been laid. So because of the Jewish day of preparation, since the tomb was close at hand, they laid Jesus there.
Was a wretch, I remember who I was. I was lost, I was blind, I was running out of time. Sin separated, the breach was far too wide. But from the far side of the chasm, you held me in your sight. So you made a way across the great divide, left behind heaven's throne to build it here inside. There at the cross, you paid the debt I owed. Broke my chains, freed my soul. For the first time I had hope. Thank you, Jesus, for the blood applied. Thank you, Jesus, it has washed me white. Thank you, Jesus, you have saved my life, brought me from the darkness into glorious light. darkness into glorious light. Worthy is the